Hey friends, this is Danny, Triple H Farm. It's Sunday morning. We're out here doing our weekly Sunday morning walk around in the garden. Got our coffee with us. Waylon, he's with me. This is a quiet time for us, just listening to the birds chirp and looking at the garden. And thought you guys would enjoy seeing these beautiful flowers that my daughter has got going on this year. These are mostly zinnias, a couple of different varieties, but they are pretty much in full bloom right now and looking really pretty. Hopefully they'll continue to bloom and provide some color. And she's been picking a few bouquets and just hasn't sold any, but just picking some to have in her house and on her table, and we really enjoy them. So just thought I'd do a video here to show you guys the garden. I'd said in the previous video that I was going to do a June garden tour, and here it is, July the 6th, I believe today is, and I didn't get it done, and I apologize guys. It's just been super busy. I help a friend of mine. I will, first of all, I have a full-time job, work 40 or 45 hours a week, and then I have a friend whose family is one of the bigger, more predominant farming and ranching families here in our area, and I always help them in the summertime with their wheat harvest. And him and I put up a bunch of wheat straw, square bales of straw, and it's just been a busy time of year. We've been working on that every day, every evening, and a lot of times it's 9 or 9:30 at night before I get home, and I have to come out here and pick vegetables with the headlamp and check on things. So the garden is not in great shape. There's lots of grass and weeds that are trying to come back on me, but thought I'd show you guys a little bit. Here's the cantaloupe patch. You know, the cantaloupes are doing pretty good. The vines look great. Lots of blooms. There are some cantaloupes in there. You have to dig around and find them, but probably not going to be my best cantaloupe crop. I don't see the number of melons in there that I normally see, but this is a different variety that I've never grown before. So we'll see. I kind of had to take what I could get as far as transplants go, and it was about 2 or 3 weeks later this year getting them in the ground than normal. But got a row of cucumbers here. Took them a while to get going and start binding up the trellis, but they're starting to do so, and we've been picking a few cucumbers. Tomatoes are looking pretty good. The vines look good. There's lots of tomatoes. They're starting to turn. These are some of the last ones that we planted, so they're not quite ready yet. But down here on this other end, we have been picking quite a few tomatoes. We've been selling quite a few tomatoes. You can see they're starting to turn. The plants have taken a little bit of a turn as far as looks, vigor. Got a little bit of brown spotted wilt showing up on some of the plants, so they're pretty distressed. But you can see there's some really nice tomatoes, really uniform, and pretty proud of that. I had some bug pressure this last week. Had to come in and spray them a little bit to try to get rid of some of the I call them tomato beetles. I don't know really what they're called. Stink bugs, tomato stink bugs. They'll get on the fruit and penetrate it and leave a little hole and make it look nasty. And you know, when that happens, the only thing it's good for is for us, for our family. We'll keep them and cut that spot out and eat them, but it doesn't allow me to sell them, so that kind of stinks. Here's a prime example right there. There's one right there. I hate those things, and apparently he didn't get the memo when I sprayed, so now he's gone. But our tomato crop's not what it usually is, and that's partly due to the fact that we've had so much rain, but partly due to neglect on my part. I just haven't had time to take care of everything like I normally do. But man, there are some really good tomatoes on here, and you know, we've lost some vegetation some growth, some leaves. So now the sun is starting to scorch them. Over here we got these Carolina Golds, new variety that we tried this year. Not real impressed with them. They do taste good. We've ate some of them, but they're not very big tomatoes. I thought they were going to be a little bigger than that. They're very consistent, but they're just not very big. So, and then the early girls over there, been picking quite a few of those. Of course, early girls, they don't get very big, but we like to use those to make our salsa with, which I have yet to make a batch. I really expect this next week to be the week when the tomatoes start coming off in bucketfuls. So that's the tomato garden. It's looking pretty good. Let's see what else. Our squash garden over here on the terrace. It's been doing really well. We've been picking a lot of squash. We've sold a lot of squash. I bet we sold 20 or 25 pounds of squash yesterday at market. Excuse the weeds. See, this is what I'm talking about, people. When you get busy and start neglecting things, it doesn't take long for the weeds and grass to grow up. But I'll get back to it eventually. But our squash garden's doing pretty good. The yellow squash has done phenomenal. Our zucchini has struggled. We've had a lot of bug pressure, a lot of vine borer issues on the zucchini here. So it's pretty much done. I need to pull the rest of these plants possibly today and just get rid of them. There's bugs in there. Right now it's just a breeding ground, and I need to get rid of that and get this area sprayed and worked up, cleaned up, get the weeds out of it, and plant something else back in here. So thinking about planting a row or two of okra in here. I've got some growing in other places, but not very much. So okra is one of those crops that'll grow late into the summer, doesn't mind the heat as much, so we may plant some okra here. Here's a second succession planting of some yellow squash that's coming up, doing pretty good. I need to thin these out. They're a little bit too close together, so I need to take about every other one of those out. But as you can see, our first planting of squash is still doing really good. There's lots of squash in there. I got a pick this evening. Cucumbers, these are our slicer cucumbers. I need to get in here today and do some weeding on these and then fertilize them. But we've been picking a few pickling cucumbers. And then out here on the outside edge is another row of slicer cucumbers. I got in here yesterday and kind of weeded that out and got that cleaned up and fertilized those, so they should start looking a little bit better, and they're starting to produce. So in the next week or so we'll start getting some cucumbers off of those, and that's it. Yellow squash, I'm gonna leave it, keep it going. Ironically haven't seen the bug pressure on the yellow squash. It's just must be this variety, this Gold Prize variety is kind of known for its disease resistance, and so I think that maybe that's really helping it, because here right next to it, this zucchini, as you can see, looks horrible. You know, we've lost a lot of plants out of this row of zucchini, and I don't think we've lost a single yellow squash plant. So knock on wood, something may come in this week and knock them out, but if it does, that's fine, because it's produced. I bet I've picked over 100 pounds of squash off of this 40-foot row of yellow squash. So anyway, there's a little bit of a garden tour. Apologize for not getting any content out lately. It's just difficult when you're working full-time and kind of two jobs at the moment. But we enjoy our garden. We've been doing the best we can with what we've got. Definitely not our best garden year, but hey, that's part of it. You're going to have good years, you're going to have bad years, and this isn't a bad year. It's just been a difficult year with all of the rain and everything that we've endured. We're thankful for the rain because our water bill hasn't been very high, and we haven't had to turn on the irrigation much, but it's made it really difficult to keep everything fertilized and fed like it needs to be, because we use the irrigation and water soluble fertilizer. So there's been times where I probably needed to feed, but the ground was so wet I hated to inject more water into it just to get the fertilizer down. And I think because of so much water, I think that what fertilizer we did put in the ground was probably being leached out deeper past the root zone. So just because of all that water we had. But anyway, there's a little glimpse of the garden. Appreciate you guys watching. Please stay tuned. We're going to do our best to get some more content out as the summer progresses, and our channel's continuing to grow. We're thankful for that, and I think the next milestone may be the 300 mark on subscribers, so we're getting close to that. So if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, or like this video and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate you watching. Until next time, get dirty and grow some food.